In our series of letters from African journalists, Sierra Leonean-Gambian writer Ade Daramy considers the fallout of an unlikely alliance.
It is an oft-quoted maxim that politics makes strange bedfellows.
Can you imagine U.S. President Joe Biden forming an alliance with the Republican Party of Donald Trump?
Well, something akin to that has happened in the Gambia, where erstwhile enemies have formed a pact ahead of elections in December.
The parties of current President Adama Barrow and his predecessor Yahya Jammeh have joined forces.
To understand just how incongruous this seems, you need to understand how the last election played out.
A coalition of parties formed to unseat Mr. Jammeh, who had been in power for 22 years.
Much of his rule was marked by harsh authoritarianism and, judging by the testimonies at the not long completed sittings of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission, a litany of human rights abuses.
Given this background, it was a shock when Mr. Barrow, the coalition candidate, won with 43% of the vote, to Mr. Jammeh's 40%.
Mr. Jammeh initially accepted the result, even going on TV to concede, but he later reneged.
The regional bloc, ECOWAS, stepped in, sending in troops and forcing Mr. Jammeh to go into exile in Equatorial Guinea, where he remains.
There was much rejoicing, but the ruling coalition faced some hiccups, and President Barrow fired his vice president, Ousseynou Darboe, in 2019.
Mr. Darboe is a veteran politician and leader of the United Democratic Party, under whose ticket Mr. Barrow had contested the 2016 election.
It was obvious Mr. Barrow would no longer be welcome in the UDP, so earlier this year he struck out on his own, launching the National People's Party.